S&P Tech Index higher again today following the Nasdaq's best day since March. Our next guest says it's a sector you need to own and calls it the investment vehicle for buying profitability. So let's bring in Michael Kantrowitz, Chief Investment Strategist with Cornerstone Macro. Michael, tell me what you mean by that.
Sure. We've seen a big surge in tech stocks over the tech sector in the last few months in the fourth quarter, and tech usually does pretty well in the fourth quarter. The reason tech stocks are outperforming, I think, is really the question. Our view is that it's because investors are looking for profitable companies as we do face a slowdown in earnings next year. And so the reason we believe that to be true is that, number one, tech as a sector has the most highly profitable companies of the 11 sectors. In addition to that, that same factor, highly profitable companies, are outperforming in just about every other sector. So it's not unique to tech. It's just tech has a lot of it. And as we go into the next phase of the market cycle in 2022, where earnings growth slows, a factor like profitability typically does really well. And that's why tech probably does pretty well next year.
Tech not hit as badly as some other stocks during the pandemic, other sectors during the pandemic really struggling because their operations were impacted much more so due to supply chain and everything else. I wonder, though, if as other sectors sort of find their equilibrium going into 2022, if you think relative to other sectors, tech might not outperform quite as much as the other guys kind of catch up a little bit. Is that a fair read?
Well, I think out of the 68 industries right now, earnings expectations today for all but 3 of those are above pre-COVID levels. The obvious airlines and hotels, I forgot the third one, do not have those earnings quite above the pre-COVID levels, but they are up about 60% from the lows. So no, I think tech stocks, because they have the most companies with higher growth, strong fundamentals, lower beta, and higher profitability, that sector is going to do well. And it's really the big caps within that space that do well. So buying the tech ETF or the index probably works pretty well. In the last few weeks, we've seen a big divergence and dichotomy within the tech sector. Companies that have negative earnings or lower quality growth stocks have not done quite well because they don't have high profitability. And so there's definitely, if you're a stock picker within tech, you got to be cognizant of whether or not the company has high profitability or not. We think there will be continued divergence next year.